Okay. So I'm Janis Martin. The name of my business is Senior Liaison of Central Florida. I started it 3 years ago because I had worked in senior living for 11 years as a director of sales. And I realized that people were coming into the community that I worked having no idea what assisted living was, how to do it, what it cost, what the differences were. And there were other senior placement agencies around, and I didn't like the way they operated. They tended to push, they were way too pushy for people to make a mistake. And this is one of the biggest decisions you could ever make. So I wanted to start my own business. I did not want to work for any other company because I wanted to have my own DNA in it. So I started 3 years ago, and I this is my third time to be here. I came in right after I had started in 2021, I guess, and then I came in again, and so I wanted to bring you up to date on what's been happening. So I wrote a book, and it's the complete guide to assisted living. Everything you need to know before, during, and after a move. And it's very conversational, and it's not a textbook. It's a really easy read. But if you now facing the idea of assisted living, this will give you a great foundation for that. It actually won 2 awards after it came out. It won the Caregiver Friendly Award in the media category from Caregiver Publishing, and it won the Quality Senior Living Award from the Florida Council on Aging. So when I started, I realized there was such a need for people to know everything about assisted living. And then as I got into it, what I found was their expectations were so unrealistic when they moved in. They were coming from home, getting one-on-one care. They were coming from a rehab. Their expectations were completely out of line. So I'm now writing my second book, and I really hope to have it done this year. It's called How to Have a Successful Transition to Assisted Living: Expectation versus Reality. And I hope to have that finished this year. So when I last spoke, there was someone in the audience, and I wish he was here because I really wanted to acknowledge the 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 seed that he planted in my brain. You have ideas coming to you, and sometimes it takes a while to process them and see how it works for you as an individual. And he sat back there and he said, I brought up your website. You need to be giving more information on your website to people. And my first thought was, well, I want to give them that information personally. And then the more I thought about it, he was absolutely right. So when I had my website redesigned, I have a news page. And I've written articles for Health and Wellness magazine here in Ocala and in the villages. I now have 28 articles that I've written. They're all on my website for free to download. And I'm really, really proud of this because as soon as I get an article done, it goes up on the website. I've taken on a lot more responsibility in the realm of advocacy because a lot of families don't live near their loved ones who are here. They need someone to be their voice. They need someone to check in on them. So I'm oftentimes an interpreter. When people move into a community and they reach out to me and say something's going wrong, I can tell them why because I've been in the senior living industry. Well, this is why it's happening. Maybe we can look at it moving forward from this angle, and it helps. But sometimes the communities fail. They fail terribly in the care that they give. And so it's my role that I've given myself to step in and advocate for those people that are not being treated well, even if it's a community that I move them to. And I will help them to find another community for them. So basically, what I do with all of my business is I first started out and I said I was placement for assisted living. And when I would do vendor fairs, everybody, if I had a dime for everybody, says, "Oh, I don't need that," and then they'd walk on by. So I was going to a vendor fair, and I decided I didn't have anything for my table. I knew everybody was going to have all these tchotchkes. So what I did was I printed out all of my articles, and I put them in folders, all in a row. And again, I started out, and everybody walked by. And finally, I don't know why I said it, but I said, I'm an educator on senior living options. Do you have long term care insurance? Yes, I do. Well, then you need to read this article. Are you a veteran? No, but my husband is. Then you need to read this article. And people would stay with me and then say, I'm so glad I stopped by today because this was really helpful. At the end of last year, as I thought about my goals for this year, I really wanted to get in front of people because people need to see my passion. And when they get to know me, I know that they feel my integrity and my desire to do what's in their best interest. So I put it out to the universe that I wanted to do presentations. And I have been blessed that I had one great big event that drew so many people that they had to add a second event a few weeks later, and then it's just rolled from there, one to the other. The best thing I did as I planned for this year was I wanted to grow. And the very best thing I did was I brought on Patty Torres to work with me and to do the marketing and to be visible for me because I'm spread way too thin doing home visits, community tours and such. So you will see Patty everywhere. And I love to follow her on Facebook because she is everywhere. And so she's out there spreading the word for me as well. Can I get a little bit more?
Yeah, about 30 seconds.
30 seconds. The other thing that always frustrated me is I would tell people over and over again, and oftentimes the first response was, oh, I wish I knew you 3 months ago, or oh, I wish I knew you last year. And I thought, Lord, what do I have to do to get my message out there? Get a billboard? I got a billboard. It went up yesterday. So if you're driving up 200 towards 75 and you get to one of the entrances of the Paddock Mall, there's a digital billboard there. And it's on that. I'm so stoked about that. I think that's awful. So my goals for next year, I'd love to do a TED Talk. I need somebody to tell me how to do that. And I'd love to start a podcast with people that are working with me that I refer to highlight their business and what makes them special and how we work together. So that's my goals. Thank you.